So I'm going to do a quick comparison of three Strat-like objects. One, a Fender Stratocaster, a PRS Silver Sky, and then a Nash Strat. So we're going to start with this 50s reissue Strat. They call them the American Original Series because now what they've done is made the necks flatter so you can bend more and bigger frets. So these are all, by the way, about $2,000 guitars. The Fender here we're looking at is in gold. It has vintage saddles on it, staggered height magnets. This is a brand new guitar, medium jumbo frets, and a neck and feel that's going to be familiar to you. The frets don't seem too large, while the neck does feel fairly big on these. Bridge pickup, middle pickup, neck pickup, in between sound, the Fender has a real high quality finish. It's got a real high quality feel, and I'll be honest, Fender has a resale name for you if you ever were to sell a guitar. I always say from Bemidji to Beijing. Now, this guitar is the new guitar from Paul Reed Smith, and this is the Silver Sky. Now, the headstock, the way it's shaped, it comes out a little bit, so there's a little more room to plant your thumb or to hold the neck. And then this cutaway here is the same thing. On a lot of these, they kind of add a different color in here just to emphasize that, add a little more design to it. And the switch feels substantial. The neck is a little smaller, quite a bit smaller really. Not small, but smaller than the 50s Fender. The Paul Reed Smith, we won't compare weights because they'll all weigh a little bit different. None of these are heavy guitars. The fretwork is really perfect. That's one thing Paul Reed Smith does is detail their frets. When I'm all done with this video, I'll just go through and just play the three of them back to back, but middle pickup, neck pickup. The fit and finish on this guitar is outstanding. No backplate on this. Why bother? You're going to take it off anyway to change strings. Good weight, good balance. I love the way the horn comes out. These are really a fine guitar. Paul Reed Smith, generally speaking, is a step-up guitar. Now, our old friend Bill Nash. These Bill Nashes are all about the rough and tumble. So you can't really get them in a clean finish. There's always something funky, snarly about them. That has a lot of appeal. Now I know some people hate the pre-done dings, if you will, but for a lot of us, like myself, I like something that's beat up. I like to put something down on a stand and just walk away and not worry about it. So the back of the neck has been sanded down. They all three have kind of a low mass tuner. The neck on the Nash is bigger. And then the frets feel a little bigger on this. The neck is definitely bigger, not quite as big as the Fender. Lollar pickups, you can see have a little more oomph and a little more power. Now, to slow them down a little bit, you're going to back off your volume. Yeah, that thing. Bridge pickup. Middle pickup. Middle, middle. Now honestly, the whole funky finish thing, these aren't detailed as much as the Fender and the Paul Reed Smith, but really the purpose of this finish is that you just take it and beat it up. You throw it around. If you're working, gigging night after night, you're not worried about a polished cloth between songs. You're probably going to hammer away at the guitar and get the job done. So I'll play all three now. We'll start with this, Lollar pickups. Now, PRS, Paul Reed Smith pickups. And last, our trusty friends from Fender.